this is ASpengler coming back to show you guys another tutorial video. This week it is a water slide decal tutorial. This has been one that some of you guys have been requesting for some time, so here it is finally. And so let's just get right into it. Right here I've got pretty much all the stuff that you would need to do some decaling. Of course you need the decals themselves. So I got German ones for today. You need the Lego torso that you're going to be putting them on. You need some water. I recommend it's fine to put it in just a water bottle cap, and you need a sharp like X-Acto knife, and it's really important that the tip's sharp. I'd recommend having some stand to at least put it on for the final thing, which would be putting a coat of protective clear paint on it. So this is one that I'd recommend you guys getting, the Tamiya semi-gloss clear. It's on Amazon, so this is a good one that I've used. It's the only one I've used, but it's good. I haven't had any problems with it. So with that, let's get right into it. Oh, and also like a stopwatch for certain timing areas. Go right into it. So when doing this, I'd recommend you really want to make sure you get a sharp knife with a sharp tip. I remember the first time I did decals, I didn't have a good knife. My brother's just like, oh, you could use my pocket knife, and then it cut all the edges really bad. They were all scraggly and stuff, and those decals turned out horrible. So don't just use like a pocket knife like I did on my first time. Use like an actual good crafting knife or something like that. And while you do this, try to get as close to the decal as you possibly can. Sometimes it's okay just to even cut it off, part of it off, because you don't want any of the decal to overhang. And because if it overhangs on the minifigure torso at the end when you're all finished, every time you kind of touch it, it will slowly just peel off the whole decal, and you don't want that. I had a group of Stalingrad Russian water slide decals that I did a while back, and I was really sloppy with those. Didn't take my time, and I way overcut, and so now all of them are peeling, and that's not good. So got the back cut out for there. So a good way to check if you didn't overcut is just to put it up against the torso, and if any of it is overlapping or going over, you can just cut it off. It's better to cut it off now than once you already have it on the torso. So that's it. So that's my advice for cutting them out. I'll cut up a front one so to better demonstrate for you guys. I'd recommend either, if you're not completely sure of what you're doing, to do a first one score through and then a second cut through on your final cut. But what I'm doing is just going one time through because, I don't know, I feel like I'm good enough at what I'm doing. So as far as some of these that hang over, I usually just cut them off, because sometimes it's just not worth the hassle of trying to get the little overhang like for the pistol. I've had only one good one that's turned out of like every single pistol one that I've tried to get. So there's that front. Check to see if it fits on, and it does. So then we're good to go to the next stage. I'll just do the first one side for you guys. So you put this in your water, it's the name Waterslide-Decal, and then you should let that sit for about 30 seconds. I've made the mistake before of not waiting that long, and before when I was trying to do these, I just rush them. I had like a stand, I'd do 20 at a time, try to get through them as fast as I could, and I highly recommend don't do that. Don't do what I did. They'll end up turning out bad. The one time I think I usually would do 10 at a time, that would be okay, but then this time I was like, I had like a long weekend, and like, I'm gonna get 20 done right now, so I tried to go through 20, tried to do it as fast as I could, and it was bad. They didn't turn out good. Since I rushed them, they did not turn out good at all. They're over half of them were peeling, and it was bad. So try to take your time. And now that it's been 30 seconds or slightly more now, apply a little bit of water to the torso, and then usually when it's ready you could see that it's kind of sliding around, and then you kind of just slide it right onto the torso. See there? Discard that little piece, and then just kind of gently maneuver it into the spot you want. And then once you have it there, you just want to kind of gently press down and try to get all the water out from underneath. And if you mess up, you can just put a little bit more water on, try to maneuver it back to where you want. So I slowly just, so there, it's about in place now. At this point you could kind of double check, make sure you don't have any overhang, because the overhang is really bad. It's the first thing that will start to cause peeling. I think the second thing that will start to cause peeling is like when you try to go too fast. You don't wait the 30 seconds, allow the water to kind of get the decal ready to come off. You kind of just rip it off, put this thing on, and then it'll just start peeling after that. It doesn't have enough of the adhesive to get onto the minifigure. And another important step is you probably should wash the torso before you try to put it on, just since there might be something from your hands that was on the torso that will kind of prevent the adhesive from setting on. So those are a few tips. And now usually when doing this, after I get the front, the best thing I'd say to do is cut out all the decals. Cut out all the decals before you start any of the water process. Cut them all out first, and then once you have them all cut out, apply all the front designs on. So this one that I just did, apply that to all 5, and then that allows them to each have a little bit of time to set. And then after that you go from like the one that had the most time to set, then you go and start on the back of this one. So kind of just explain that a little bit better. So put the front on this one, then I put the front on this one, then this one, and then this one, and then this one. So all these have the fronts on them, like this one would have. And then after that, I'd take this one, after I'd gone through, decaled the front of all these, I'd go back, decal the back of this one, then this one, then this one, then this one, then this one. And that just allows each one to have a little bit of time for the decal to set on, dry a little bit. And so when you're doing the back of the decal, it doesn't mess with the front. And so that's basically it. And now some tips for like after you got all the decals on. You could either have like the decal air dry overnight. What I'd recommend at least 24 hours, but I don't really have that much patience, so I'd take a hair dryer on about medium setting, and that only takes about 2 minutes per side. So I highly recommend a hair dryer over the just waiting overnight. It's a lot quicker, but a very important thing, another thing that will cause peeling is if you hold the hair dryer too close to the decal. It'll get it too warm, it will dry too fast, and then it'll just start peeling in on itself. So make sure you get a decent distance away from the decal so you're not getting too close. And then after about 2 minutes, like I said earlier, on each side you should have your decal dry. And then what you do after that is that's when the paint comes in. Put about 1 to 2 light coats of this on, and make sure you spray it at a distance. That's another big mistake that I made the first time. It was really windy outside, so I was like, I'm gonna do this anyways. And I put the sprayer like right up next to it, and it just bubbles all over. It turns them yellow. It's really bad. So don't do it on a windy day, and don't do it when it's too close to the torso, otherwise it will mess it up. And then also the paint doesn't work at like a certain temperature, so don't do it outside if it's like below freezing. Another little tip there. So with that, I think that's it. I don't have much else to tell you, so thank you guys for watching. If you like what you saw, please like, comment, subscribe, and with that, thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.